Hello students, welcome to MDC Learning, Standard TY BCom, Subject Computer Education. Students, today we are going to learn about relative and absolute cell reference in Excel. So let's start with relative cell reference. By default, all cell references are relative cell references, which means that the reference is related to the location of the cell. For example, when copied across multiple cells, they change based on the relative position of rows and columns. Next is absolute cell reference. Absolute cell reference neither allows the column or nor the rows reference to change. An absolute cell reference is designated in a formula by the addition of a dollar sign. This table explains in a better way. If you put dollar sign before column as well as row, the column and row do not change when copied. This is absolute cell reference. When you put dollar sign before row, the row does not change when copied. Similarly, when you put dollar sign before column, the column does not change when copied. So these three are absolute cell reference. But when there is no dollar sign, the column and row both change when copied. This is relative cell reference. Let's see this in Excel with the help of an example. Now here, I'll explain you both relative as well as absolute cell reference with the help of this table. In this table, there are menu items, price, quantity. Let's calculate the sales tax, which is 7.5%. We start with equal to sign, bracket start, price multiplied by quantity, bracket close, multiplied by this 7.5%. Now here, one thing you should note, since this 7.5% is not going to change for all these cells, right? So we'll press F4 function key and put dollar sign before this cell reference. Now I press enter. Now we'll go to fill handle and fill list cells. So now these values of sales tax automatically calculated. Now the next thing, we'll calculate the total. Here we start with bracket price multiplied by quantity, bracket close, plus whatever this sales tax we have calculated. I press enter. Now with the help of this fill handle, I drag through all these cells. Now my total is calculated for each and every item with the help of this fill handle. Now for grand total equal to sum tab, to select all these cells, bracket close, enter. Now one thing here you must note, when you press F2, right? So you can see here, first value is C3 multiplied by D3, then next value is $E$1, right? Let's press the F2 in second cell below that. You can see the same value. Let's press below. You can see the same value. So this is called absolute cell reference. Since you know that this 7.5% is constant for all these items, this sales tax is 7.5%, which is not changing for any of the items. So this is absolute cell reference. Whereas when you see here in the next total column, when I press F2, see here E3, right? This is related to the cell. When you go below, here when I press F2, this is E4, right? When I go below and press F2, this is E5. That means you can see here this value is changing, E3, E4 and E5 and so on. So this is relative cell reference. That means this value is changing with related to cell, whereas this sales tax value is constant for all the cells. So this is absolute cell reference, and this is example of relative cell reference. So this is our example of relative and absolute cell reference. As a summary, you can understand, by default a cell reference is a relative reference, but be sure to include the dollar sign whenever you are making absolute reference across multiple cells. Now I can solve this assignment. Students, make use of relative and absolute cell references whenever required. Now I must tell you, this is our 10th video of Excel. Please watch my all videos and learn properly whatever I have taught. Thank you.